Trump is diving headfirst into the latest eruption in the nation's reckoning over racial injustice with a trip to Kenosha, Wisconsin, over the objections of local leaders. The city has been riven by protests since the shooting of Jacob Blake, a black man hit 7 times in the back by police. On the eve of his visit, Trump defended a teenage supporter accused of fatally shooting 2 men in Kenosha last week and accused Joe Biden of siding with anarchists and rioters in the unrest. Wisconsin's Democratic Governor, Tony Evers, who had deployed the National Guard to quell demonstrations in response to the Blake shooting, pleaded with Trump to stay away for fear of straining tensions further. The White House said the president was expected to meet with law enforcement and tour property affected by recent riots. The iPolitics newsletter cut through the noise. "I am concerned your presence will only hinder our healing," Mr. Evers wrote in a letter to Mr. Trump. "I am concerned your presence will only delay our work to overcome division and move forward together." Law and order candidate Wisconsin's Democratic Governor, Tony Evers, who had deployed the National Guard to quell demonstrations in response to their Blake shooting, pleaded with Trump to stay away. Photo, AP photo/Maury Gash. Mr. Trump, claiming the mantle of the law and order candidate, is offering himself as the leader best positioned to keep Americans safe. Mr. Biden, in turn, has assailed him over the deadly protests that have sprung up on his watch. Mr. Trump insisted his appearance in Kenosha could increase enthusiasm in Wisconsin, perhaps the most hotly contested battleground state in the presidential race, as the White House said he wants to visit hurting Americans. He was expected to take credit for calling in the National Guard, an act taken by Mr. Evers, and for surging federal law enforcement to the city to restore the peace. The White House said Mr. Trump was not going to meet with Blake's family. "I am a tremendous fan of law enforcement and I want to thank law enforcement," Trump told Fox News in an interview Monday night. "They've done a good job." Read more Michelle Obama speech in full. Watch the former First Lady's DNC address as she describes Donald Trump as in over his head. Mr. Trump suggested that some police officers choke when faced with challenging situations and compared them to golfers who miss a 3-foot putt. Mr. Biden, in his most direct attacks yet, accused Mr. Trump earlier Monday of causing the divisions that have ignited the violence. He delivered an uncharacteristically blistering speech in Pittsburgh and distanced himself from radical forces involved in altercations. Stoking violence. Mr. Biden, in his most direct attacks yet, accused Mr. Trump earlier Monday of causing their divisions that have ignited the violence. Photo, Saul Loeb/AFP/Getty. Mr. Biden said of Mr. Trump, "He doesn't want to shed light, he wants to generate heat, and he's stoking violence in our cities. He can't stop the violence because for years he's fomented it." Mr. Trump, for his part, reiterated that he blames radical troublemakers stirred up and backed by Biden. But when he was asked about one of his own supporters who was charged with killing 2 men during the mayhem in Kenosha, Mr. Trump declined to denounce the killings and suggested that the 17-year-old suspect, Kyle Rittenhouse, was acting in self-defense, after a confrontation in which he fatally shot 1 man. Police say, Rittenhouse fell while being chased by people trying to disarm him. A second person was shot and killed. "That was an interesting situation," Mr. Trump said Monday during a news conference. "He was trying to get away from them, I guess, it looks like, and he fell. And then they very violently attacked him. He was in very big trouble. He probably would have been killed." Mr. Biden saw Mr. Trump's impact far differently, accusing the president of poisoning the nation's values. In a statement after Trump's news conference but before his Fox News remarks, Biden said, "Tonight, the president declined to rebuke violence. He wouldn't even repudiate one of his supporters who is charged with murder because of his attacks on others. He is too weak, too scared of the hatred he has stirred to put an end to it." Reporting from AP. Let's block ads.
Show your love for him. Click the link in description. Thanks for watching.